touch with Kenya? Has your relationship changed based on what happened?
I have not spoken to Kenya since around the time that whole thing happened.
Okay.
And, you know, that's really kind of a sad situation for me because I was there to just support her.
Just when things seemed calm in Atlanta, Cynthia Bailey is back, and this time, she's speaking her truth loud and clear. For a while, Cynthia stayed quiet after her split from Mike Hill. She kept things low-key, focused on herself, and stayed out of the drama. But now, she's ready to talk, and she's not holding anything back. In a brand new interview, Cynthia finally opened up about her falling out with Kenya Moore, a mystery man in Europe, and what it's been like stepping back into the Real Housewives world after everything she's been through. Let's just say she's got a lot to say, and people are definitely listening. Let's start with her friendship with Kenya Moore, or should we say, former friendship.
My thoughts are, I have to bring it back to myself. I would never ever do business or bring on the show to film anyone's baby daddy, anyone's husband, anyone's boo, at this point, anyone's cousin. If you're related to one of these ladies on the show or connected to them in any way, I just personally wouldn't bring them on to film.
Cynthia made it clear that things haven't been the same between them since she left the show. They tried to keep in touch at first, but according to Cynthia, Kenya slowly started to drift away. What hurt the most wasn't just the distance, it was the way it happened. She said she noticed the energy was off at social events. Even in private conversations, there was a shift. The connection they once shared just didn't feel the same anymore. Cynthia wasn't trying to be shady about it, she was honest. And in her words, I just felt like it was beneath her. That wasn't meant to insult Kenya. It was Cynthia being real about how she felt. Things hit a breaking point at an event where Kenya was supposed to be celebrating a major business launch. Cynthia showed up, wanting to support her friend. But instead of feeling welcomed, she said it felt like she was being pushed out of the room, like her presence didn't matter. Kenya barely looked at her, and there was no warm moment between them like she had hoped for. Cynthia said it felt cold and awkward. Later in her interview, she admitted that night was when she realized their friendship wasn't what it used to be. There wasn't any big fight or loud argument. It was just a quiet realization that maybe it was time to stop trying so hard to fix something that wasn't being returned. She also revealed that since that night, she hasn't heard from Kenya at all. No calls, no texts, not even a reply through mutual friends. But Cynthia said she did try. She reached out multiple times, left messages, and even tried to reconnect through people they both knew. But Kenya didn't respond. And after a while, Cynthia had to accept it. She said, I still care about her, but I had to step back. That part hit fans hard. It was obvious from her face that she still had love for Kenya, but she couldn't keep chasing after a friendship that made her feel invisible. And her fans felt that too. One fan posted on social media, Cynthia deserved better. Kenya forgot who had her back when no one else did. Another fan wrote, Kenya's always been messy. Cynthia's just choosing peace now. The support for Cynthia was overwhelming, and it's clear people are rooting for her to focus on herself. Cynthia is now back on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but in a new way. She didn't return as a full-time cast member. This time, she came back as a friend of the show, and she made it known that this was her choice. She didn't want to be fully caught up in the non-stop chaos. Instead, she wanted to stay connected to her TL family while still keeping her peace and focusing on other parts of her life, like her acting career.
To a standard, Kenya is a woman of class. I just felt like it was beneath her, and I was a little disappointed in how she responded.
Let's not forget Cynthia's no rookie when it comes to playing the long game. She's one of the few women on the show who stayed relevant and respected year after year. Remember that hilarious friend contract she once made Kenya sign? Fans still talk about that. And now it feels like things have come full circle. She's balancing Hollywood projects, guest appearances, and her spot on Housewives, all without getting pulled into unnecessary drama. But don't think that means she's staying quiet either. Cynthia is still sharing her truth, especially when it comes to the new cast. She formed a quick bond with one of the newest ladies on the show, Kelly. From the moment they met, Cynthia said they just clicked. They're both pisses, and Cynthia even joked that it felt like they'd known each other for years. Unlike some of the other friendships on the show that felt forced or produced, this one felt real to her. She loved Kelly's calm presence, her sense of humor, and the way she handled messy situations with grace. After years of dealing with shady comments and backhanded compliments, Kelly was refreshing to be around. Cynthia even said that filming scenes with her reminded her why she still enjoys being part of the show. And it wasn't just Kelly. Cynthia gave credit to the entire new cast. She said the group had a natural vibe this season, less forced, more genuine. According to her, the interactions didn't feel scripted or pushed by producers. It was real people, real reactions, and real moments. Still, she did mention that there's a clear difference between the Oggs and the new girls. Some fans are still holding on to the original crew, but Cynthia believes it's time for the show to grow and try new things. She said, mixing old favorites with fresh faces might be what saves the franchise from getting stale. And honestly, she might be right. But of course, it's Real Housewives, so drama is never far behind. Cynthia didn't shy away from sharing her thoughts on other cast storylines either.
Definitely going through some issues in their friendship, and it's hard to watch because, you know, they've been friends for so long, and I think that, you know, that matters. I feel like, you know, they're so close. I mean, from like, I don't know, like middle school, like it's been a long ride for them. And I'm hoping that they will get on the other side of it. I really hope this is just a moment that they're going through and they'll figure it out. But you guys have to watch all of that play out because it is going to definitely play out on the show.
When asked about Drew bringing her ex Dennis into the group setting, Cynthia didn't hold back. She laughed and said, "Baby daddies hit different." But she also said that's not something she would personally ever do. She prefers to keep her exes and her friends separate. What really caught her attention, though, was the tension between Shemaya and Portia. Fans who've been watching since the beginning remember how close those two used to be. Seeing their bond fade was tough for Cynthia. She said it made her genuinely sad. As for Portia showing up late to events, Cynthia simply said she's always on Portia time. It wasn't said in a mean or shady way, just Cynthia being her usual honest self. She respects Portia's hustle, but admits that the constant delays can throw off the group's energy sometimes. And just when everyone thought the season couldn't get more intense, one familiar face made a brief return, Phaedra Park.
I didn't want that to be her moment. I didn't. And when I was, you know, in the scene, you'll see it play out. You know, I say that you're just better and bigger than this, and I just don't want to be here.
Yes, that Phaedra. Cynthia didn't shy away from giving her take on that either. Even though Phaedra's screen time was short, the impact was big. Cynthia said the fans lit up the moment she appeared. Whether you love her or not, there's no denying that Phaedra knows how to make an entrance and how to stir up conversation with just one look. Behind the scenes, Cynthia gave a little extra tea. She shared that producers were very intentional about how they planned this season. From casting to events to where they filmed, everything was designed to bring back the magic. Cynthia hinted that Phaedra's return might not be a one-time thing. While nothing is official, she said, the door's not closed. And that's all fans needed to start speculating. Now, if you thought Cynthia was only focused on rebuilding friendships, think again. She also surprised fans by sharing some juicy news about her love life. Cynthia Bailey is dating again, and this time, the man is miles away from Atlanta. she confirmed that she's seeing a musician based in Amsterdam. And by the way she lit up while talking about him, you could tell it's something special. She said they met naturally while she was in Europe for an event. It wasn't anything planned, they just connected, and things grew from there. They've been keeping their relationship mostly private, not because they're hiding, but because Cynthia wants to protect the peace she's finally found. She shared that this new relationship feels different. There's no pressure, no drama, no cameras following their every move, just real connection. After going through public heartbreak, divorce, and long-distance challenges with her ex, this new chapter feels calm and easy. And fans have noticed that glow too. Social media has been full of love for Cynthia's fresh start. One person tweeted, "Cynthia looks like peace personified." Another said, "This man better treat her like the queen she is." Still, Cynthia is being smart. She's taking her time, not rushing into anything. No labels, no headlines. Just dating and enjoying the moment. And most importantly, focusing on herself. After all the years she spent giving her energy to others, whether in friendships or relationships, it's nice to see her finally pouring into herself. But the real takeaway from Cynthia's interview? It wasn't just gossip or juicy details. It was wisdom. Cynthia has always been about growth and grace. She admitted she hasn't always handled things perfectly, but she's learned. And that's why she's still so respected after all this time. She said, "Nobody likes to be wrong, but when you are, say it, mean it. That's how you grow." That kind of honesty is what's kept her fan base strong for so many years. Even when things got messy, Cynthia didn't jump into drama just for attention. If she made a mistake, she owned it. She also talked about how important it is to give grace not just to others, but to yourself. Whether it's dealing with a broken friendship or heartbreak, Cynthia's focus is healing, not holding grudges. That's why she continues to be someone fans admire. She's thoughtful about where she puts her energy, and that's helped her stay grounded. So whether she's navigating a paused friendship with Kenya or enjoying a new romance in Amsterdam, one thing's clear. Now, let's hear from you. Do you think Cynthia and Kenya will ever be friends again? And are we loving this new man in her life? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the latest tea.